Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Firstly, actually, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's supported my assumptions Q&A video. Thank you so much for the support. I really genuinely appreciate it. But yeah, let's get straight into the video now. Okay, so just a bit of background on my experience moving cities. I'm originally from Derby, but I got a job in Manchester that was due to start in September 2019. And I found out that I was moving quite early on, around March. So I did have quite a few months to prepare. However, me being me, even though I am organised.
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
I don't think I was prepared or knew enough about the process of moving cities, which is why I'm doing this video to sort of, give people the key information and facts that you need to know if you do want to move cities. So, let's get started. First things first, money. You need to make sure that you have the money that you need in order to move.
I'm rich.
So to give a bit of a breakdown, because money is just, it's just the word money. What does that mean in the sense of moving? When you do find a property that you want to move into, they do usually a holding fee. So that's you going to the letting agent saying that I'm interested in renting this property. We want to take out all the steps necessary to get to live in this property. So the letting agents will charge you, depending on the monthly price of the apartment or house, they'll charge you a small sum to take it off the market. If you succeed through with all the stages of applying and pursuing that property and you end up living in that amount will be deducted. But there is some clauses in different letting agents where they do get to keep that amount. So sometimes you just need to check, is it non-refundable or refundable? Because if you're not serious, there's no point you putting on £200 to take it off the market for then you not to even want to live in that property a couple of weeks down the line. So you've got the holding fee, then you've got the actual deposit, which is usually 1 month's rent. What I would say is double check this with your letting agents, because sometimes they add on different sort of fees, and I do know that recently they've taken off, I think it's become illegal, or the government have made it illegal for letting agents to do their administration fees in some shape or form. I'm not all the way clued up on it, but I know that it is a thing. On top of that, most places nowadays will ask for a month's rent in advance. Especially with COVID, they want to make sure that they're getting reliable tenants. So expect them to, ask for a month's rent. But those are the three things that you need to make sure. Do you have money to take off the market? Do you have money for the actual deposit? Do you have 1 month's rent in advance? Now, in Manchester, it's not expensive, but it's not cheap as everyone thinks it is, especially if you want to live close to the city centre. Usually in the city centre, you'll be able to find apartments or houses from, ranging from like £750 all the way up to like 1.58, 9k, 2k even, and that's on the lavish side of things. Okay, so the next thing that you need to consider is your living arrangements. So, do you want to live with yourself, or do you want to live with other people? Do you want to live in an apartment, or do you want to live in a flat?
Y'all finished or y'all done? I ain't got no more talk.
Do you want to live with students or professionals? Do you want to live with smokers or non-smokers? Living arrangements is a big umbrella, but within that, there's loads of different factors that you need to consider. So one thing I would say is that make sure you have in your mind a clear mindset of basic things that you want. Once you filter down those aspects, you can go and seek those out. So I do, well, from experience of what I've used, there is a website called Spare Rooms, and that's where you're able to find places to live, but also people to live with. So within that website, you can actually put filters down. It's a national website, so there will be someone to find in every city, basically. I would say, on advice, if you're new to the city, it makes most sense to probably live with someone else. You don't really want to be spending loads of expenses on living costs. You want, fair enough to pay the rent, fair enough to pay council tax, fair enough to pay bills, but you don't want that to take more than like a certain percentage of your own salary or monthly income. So just really think hard about that. And also, you know, when you are new to a city, it's nice to have someone else to refer to. The other person might be new to the city, or they might have lived there for a couple of months to 10 years. But it's really good to have someone else with you. Okay, so lastly, the final thing I would say that you need to really consider is location. So it's so important to live in a safe place, first of all. So first things first, it needs to be safe. You found the person that you really like or that you really want to move in with. Now it's actually time to get down to flat hunting or house hunting. Where do you want to live? Now, depending on where you both work, I would personally say that you shouldn't really, well, I would not want to be more than 30 minutes walk or 30 minutes on transport or driving from my workplace. That's just, I don't know, just for convenience. It's not something that I don't want to be further out and it's just a long trek to work. Like, it's just not ideal. And luckily for me, my work was actually in the city centre, so as long as I'm 30 minutes away from the town centre, that's fine. I know some people want to live close to the city centre because that's where, you know, for convenience, that's where shopping is, that's where food, supermarkets, train stations, things like that are more central, so they would prefer to be there. It depends on a couple of factors, but you need to make sure that you live in a safe place that is also local to where you're living, or, you know, to the city centre if that's ideal for you. I would personally look into Rightmove, Zoopla. It gives you information about the surrounding areas. Do your research, I would say. Just do your research into those type of things, because you don't want to really be living in an amazing flat but it's in a rundown area and it's not safe. Or you don't want to live, maybe for some people, they don't want to live in a really nice place that's not got a youthful presence. So if you do have people over, it becomes an issue. You might be too loud for the neighbours, things like that. So you have to just consider all factors. But what I would say overall, if you are moving, do your research. Research into where your workplace is. Research into where the flat is. Not just the street, but the area, to know the actual town or the area that you're possibly going to move into. I feel like I was able to do an adequate amount of research, but I could have done better with the research that I did. But I guess that's just me being hard on myself. 1 year on since moving, and I've actually moved. You know, I moved to Manchester last year. Was it last year? Yeah, I moved to Manchester last year, and then I moved within Manchester this year a couple of weeks ago. So I feel like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to these type of things. But yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. If you want me to go into more detail about my own experience moving to Manchester, why I came to Manchester, what's here for me, do I like it, do I not like it, then like the video, and I will do another video at some point detailing that story. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.